Hello everyone. Today I'd like to talk about one of the key factors that determines success in therapy. Not just ARFID, but in fact every therapy I see. And in order to explain that, I need to explain a little bit about the background model. So you're not one entity, so to speak. You are made up of your conscious mind, which is the CEO, the Prime Minister, the President, or a parent, shall we say a manager, and your subconscious mind, and that's made up of different parts, like different departments or different staff, and which have different roles. So the role of the conscious mind of the leader is to look after the needs of my staff, to give them everything they need to do their job. I was a manager of a store many years ago when I was a student. And my staff were the frontline staff. They were the ones doing the maximum selling. My job is to go around saying, what do you need to do your job properly? What levels of support or resources do you need so you can keep selling? That is my job to do. I need to make sure they can do their jobs. Yeah. So their job in turn is they have the needs and they'll do their jobs. They look after the system, they repair you, they heal you, they'll do a bunch of stuff. And our job is to keep them happy so they can do their job. Now, a good leader needs two things. The first thing is we need some kind of perspective. We need some kind of vision, because they're always looking to us for vision, for goals of what do you want from us? Yeah. If we don't give them any vision, they will default to doing nothing or avoiding stuff, because that's the natural default state is just don't take any risks, stay in your cave, it's safe here. It's our job to say, well, try, swimming, try bike riding, let's drive a car, let's do this, let's try skiing. They're initially quite hesitant to do something new. It's always us kind of telling them, come on, this is going to be fun. The next thing we need empathy. And again, this is understanding their needs, like a parent understanding a child, and give them what they need to reassure them and allow them to move on and encourage them. So an example of this is when people are passive. That's when they think, oh, what's my mind going to do to me today? Is it going to pick on me today? And what's it going to do? And it's just out to get me. And it's a bit like me being a parent saying, oh, what are my children going to do to me today and pick on me today? And I hope they're well behaved. If I don't take any leadership, if I don't direct them and set boundaries, leaving up to them, they can overdo it. It's up to me as the parent to put some kind of boundaries. So the number one reason why therapy doesn't work is when the conscious mind hasn't stepped into the boots of a leader. Yeah, it's passive. It's in that passive childlike state of sitting back and going, oh, I hope my mind will do this therapy. Felix or another therapist is talking. I hope they convince them. And, while absolving, the conscious mind of any responsibility or any effort, like just make them behave and I'll be here worrying about them. That is not a leader. That does not inspire any kind of confidence in the leadership. Yeah. So if you're waiting for them to do stuff, you're going to be waiting a long time. It all comes from you. I doubt you said, oh, I don't know if I want to drive or not. And you suddenly started driving. You just went and did lessons without realizing it. It doesn't work like that. You said in your mind, you know what, I really want to drive. It's a lot more convenient. I don't want to wait for lifts and everything else. And your mind said, okay, if you want to drive, let's go drive. Yeah, they didn't have any particular objections to it. Maybe a little bit scared, but he said, listen, we'll be fine. If my brother can drive and my sister can drive, my parents can drive, I think we can drive. You led them and they followed. So that's how it works best. So today I put up a picture of this lady in her late 20s, a lovely Polish lady. She saw my online streaming video and had a great result. She previously lived off boiled potatoes and cornflakes. It's a bit boring. One viewing of the video, she's eating everything. She happened to be in London. She popped in, gave me a cake, and we're sort of eating a cake together, which is a very fitting way of celebrating. Now, very quickly, within a few minutes, you can spot, of course, it's going to work for this kind of personality, because her conscious mind is very grown up. It's an adult. She understands things. She takes the responsibility. She talks like an adult. So as soon as a therapist spells out what she needs to do, she does it. She understands, yeah, this is how the world works. I mean, I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but I'm a great patient for people too. I had a back problem. I see a physiotherapist. They say your back needs stretching this way and this way. They tell me the exercises. I do them because I want my back to get better. I don't say, well, I don't really like the exercises, so I'll find another physio. You kind of understand people are going to tell you what to do, and we got to do it. Yeah. When it doesn't work, it's when people say, oh, well, Felix has said these things. I hope they listen, but I don't think they'll really listen. They're not very good. I'm scared they won't change, and they probably won't change. And here you are fretting, worrying, undermining, and doubting them. And what do you think this part's going to feel like? The part's going to feel like, you know what? I'm feeling nervous too. Yeah, so that's not leadership. That's not inspiring. You're not giving them what they need. So in contrast to the client I just mentioned, I've seen adults are like this as well, but it's more obvious in teenagers. So I've seen a couple of people recently, what do you want to achieve from today? Oh no. Okay, well, do you want this or do you want that? I don't know. And you ask another boy, this is important. This is your life. You're going to pick this. You're going to pick this. They look at their parents. Isn't this a sort of clear choice? Do you want unhappy life or do you want a happier life? With something I said, why do you need to consult over something like that? These are people who either don't know their mind. They're used to, I don't want to make decisions. It's too uncertain. Mum, what do you think I should do? Or Dad, what do you think I should do? Or they've somehow stopped the thinking process. Yeah. Well, if you stop the thinking process, you're saying, I've stopped making decisions about this. Someone else make a decision, and I'll probably say no, but let's see what happens. That's not going to work. Yeah. So I'm afraid there are lots of different personality types that will do my videos or my therapy, and there's varying degree of success. I think my therapy is a fairly constant thing. There are other variables that will make it, quicker or longer or harder. And sometimes it's not just about dealing with a phobia or worry. It's also about teaching and coaching your conscious mind to step up and be a leader. Not just for this, but for everything in life. Yeah. But unfortunately, I can't really know until I work with a person, how much extra work is there to do. I can't really say to somebody, well, we've had an interview, you don't really seem to know your own mind, so it's probably going to be 50% successful, so I'll charge you 50%. It doesn't really work like that. You sort of have to pay for my time. I'll do my bit, I'll do my best. And the person of the day is we work with what turns up on the day. Yeah. So to get the best out of this therapy, if you're clear about you have work to do, you've got to give up this idea of it's a magic wand. I know it seems like a magic wand, but that's also with people who are prepared to do the work. And when they're prepared to do the work and they follow instructions, they get results very quickly. But it's also because they're meeting me halfway. This is not a passive magic wand therapy where whoever you are, I say stuff and you walk out eating food. If I convince your mind enough along the way, great, but there's still you saying to your mind, yeah, that sounds good, let's do this. It's still you collaborating to some degree. So if you have any questions, let me know. And I might follow up this topic with something similar in the future.